morning. It's April 18th, 2016. We begin with developing news out of Midlothian, Texas. 45-year-old fitness instructor Terry Missy Bevers has been found dead inside Creekside Church of Christ, where she arrived before dawn to set up for an early morning boot camp class. Surveillance footage from inside the church, recorded shortly before her death, shows an unidentified individual dressed in tactical-style police gear, helmet, vest labeled police, and heavy boots, walking through the building's hallways and attempting to open doors. Investigators say there are signs of forced entry and damage inside the church. However, no obvious valuables appear to have been taken. The suspect's identity, motive, and method of escape remain unknown. Midlothian police are treating the case as a homicide. No arrests have been made.
They said my name like it belonged to everyone. Like it was just another story to move through before the next commercial break. Terry Missy Bevers, mother of 3, wife, fitness instructor, victim. But before I was a headline, I was just a woman unlocking a church in the dark. Let me take you back there. To the rain, to the empty hallways, to the footsteps you've seen on video. Let me show you what it's like to become evidence. It started with the storm. All night, North Texas was hammered with thunder and sheets of rain. Relentless, loud. The kind that rattles windows and sinks into your bones. I lay awake more than I slept, counting the seconds between lightning and the crack that followed, thinking about my class in the morning. Boot camp inside the church, not outside. I'd posted it. We're moving indoors due to weather. See you all bright and early. Routine, predictable, comforting. The alarm went off at 3:30 a.m. I moved on autopilot. Hair pulled back, camp gladiator shirt, leggings, sneakers, gear in the car. My body knew the choreography of early mornings better than my thoughts did. You do this enough times, you stop questioning the dark. The drive to Creekside Church of Christ was familiar. Wet road hissing under my tires, wiper blades keeping time. The storm was drifting east, leaving behind a heavy, damp silence. The kind of quiet that feels like the world holding its breath. I pulled into the lot. Headlights swept over the building's front, over the class, over the cross. No other cars yet. It was just before 4 a.m. I liked being first. It gave me time to set up bands, cones, mats. Time to make the space feel awake before everyone else arrived. I killed the engine. The sound dropped out. For a moment, it was just rain dripping from the roof and the tick of cooling metal. I grabbed my gear and walked toward the doors. The church smelled faintly of cleaner and wet carpet when I stepped inside. I'd been here so many mornings, it felt like a second home. Cool air, humming lights, the echo of my footsteps off tile. The halls that would soon fill with tired jokes and small talk were, for now, mine alone. That's how I liked it. That's what they were counting on. What you've seen, what they eventually let you see, is not me. It's the other one. The figure in tactical gear wandering the church before I arrived. Helmet, gloves, vest marked police. heavy boots slapping softly against the floor. They move without rush. They open doors, look into offices, tap at handles, break small panes of glass for no clear reason. They're not ransacking. They're not grabbing electronics. They're moving the way someone moves when they already know how this ends. The footage is strange because it feels wrong at a level you don't have words for. The gate is oddly measured, steps turned out, a slight hitch, too controlled to be random, too odd to be comfortable. Every inch of them is covered, helmet, gloves, boots, no skin, no hair, no face. You've watched those clips, paused them, zoomed in on them. You've argued about height and weight, about whether the walk looks like a man's or a woman's, a disguise or a condition. I never saw those frames when I was alive, but I walked into the last one. I remember it like this: light, switch, click, the fluorescent bulbs flicker once, then hold. I moved down the hall, my shoes squeaking slightly on damp tile. I set my bag down, open it, bands, tablet, notes. I'm thinking about modifications for sore knees, about who's probably going to be late, about how the storm might have scared a few away. A sound breaks the rhythm, a faint scrape, like metal nudging concrete. I pause, listen. The building settles. Air vents sigh. Somewhere water drips. It's nothing, I tell myself. Maybe I even say it out loud. It's nothing. I keep moving. At the end of the corridor, a dark shape crosses the intersection of two halls, just for a second. My brain doesn't shout danger. It reaches for explanation. Maintenance, police, someone with a key. Hello? I call, casual, like it's no big deal. No answer. The figure appears again, closer now. Helmet, vest, that stark white police across the chest, black gloves, tool or weapon in hand, a hammer. My stomach tightens before my mind understands why. There's something wrong with the way they move, something rehearsed and hollow. Are you? The rest never makes it out. Fear, real fear, doesn't arrive as a scream. It shows up as a misstep in your pulse, a sudden cold in your hands, your body whispering run while your head is still trying to be polite. Something inside me says it now. Run. I don't, because we don't want to believe in danger in the places we trust. We believe in our routines, in our spaces, in uniforms, in titles written in white letters across black vests. They close the distance. I feel the swing before I hear it, a blunt, crushing impact that doesn't register as pain at first, just force, just wrongness. The world tilts. Tile hits my knees. My vision tunnels. Another impact. The floor comes up cold. Sound rips apart. My breath, their boots, the soft clink of something dropped or dragged. Then, all at once, it's distant, and then it's nothing. The morning doesn't stop just because mine does. Outside, the sun begins to edge over the horizon, clouds thin. The world pinks slightly at the edges. Cars turn off driveways, coffee brews, phones buzz. In the lot, one of my campers pulls in, expecting me. expecting music, expecting that tired, cheerful, "Mornin' y'all," I always gave, no matter how dark it still was. She notices the door's ajar. That's strange. We're careful about that. Inside, the church smells wrong. Not just cleaner, not just wet carpet, something heavier. "Missy?" She calls out. Her voice echoes. "Missy?" When she finds me, the sound that leaves her doesn't have a name. Another arrives. Another. Running steps. Frantic voices. Someone calls 911. By the time paramedics and police get there, my body is an object in a report. Puncture wounds to the head and chest, blunt force trauma consistent with tools carried by the suspect seen on the footage. Hammer nearby, signs of forced entry in certain doors and glass panels. My car outside, my belongings inside, untouched, nothing taken except me. It's strange to watch your own life become evidence. They replay me walking into that building. They track my last movements in seconds and frames. They study my posture, the way I turn my head. What meant nothing to me becomes crucial to them. They line it up with the suspect's footage, the figure in tactical gear, the slow walk, the off-balance step, the hand resting briefly on the wall, the casual, unhurried destruction. Someone pauses the video on a still of the vest, on the helmet, on the hammer, on the shadow that seems larger than the person wearing it. They argue, man, woman, tall, short, young, older, staged limp, real injury. Everyone is certain, nobody is sure. Walls keep their secrets, so does that hallway. I want you to hear what being afraid feels like when you don't know you're afraid yet. It isn't a scream, it's a moment that passes by looking ordinary. It's a creak in a church you've heard a dozen times, but this time it lands differently. It's your breath going just slightly shallow. It's a shape at the end of the hallway that your brain rushes to explain away. Security, repair, someone official. It's the hitch between hello and silence. You tell yourself, I'll be okay, because you always have been, because this place has always been safe, because fear feels dramatic, and you are busy, and it is 4 a.m. on a Monday, and you have a class to run. By the time your body understands what your mind refuses to say, it's too late. I was safe until I wasn't. The suspect is fully covered. Helmet, gloves, boots, vest, nothing exposed. Their movements are deliberate, but not definitive. You can't see a face. You can't hear a voice. No DNA on the footage. No license plate. No clean angle of escape. The exterior cameras at the church weren't working that morning. Inside, only fragments. Outside, nothing. One nearby business captured a car, maybe a Nissan Altima, light-colored, moving oddly in the early hours, circling, pausing, lights flashing. It's labeled a vehicle of interest, not a suspect. The driver was never conclusively identified. Investigators searched my life forward and backward. They found a LinkedIn message from a man whose tone felt off, too familiar, too suggestive. People seized on that. Maybe he was the one. Police talked to him. Nothing solid. Rumors spread about my marriage, about trust and strain and travel. People online dissected facial expressions, interviews, body language, building motives from fragments of grief. But official statements cleared my husband and close family. Alibis confirmed. Timelines checked. Still, strangers continued to circle them, like vultures around a headline. Then came the gait experts. They studied the stride of the person in tactical gear, compared it to people in my orbit, to names whispered in forums. The result was always the same. Interesting, suggestive, but not proof. Some said it was a burglary gone wrong. Some said it was a targeted killing. Some said it was staged to look like one or the other. But theories are not answers. The only things we know for sure are this. I arrived. They were already there. They were dressed so you'd trust them, or at least hesitate. Nothing of value was taken, and when they left, they took the truth with them. This is what lingers. My students, who used to park in the dark and walk in laughing, now remembering the morning they stepped into a crime scene instead of a workout. My 3 daughters, growing up with more questions than memories. My husband, standing too close to microphones, trying to say enough but never the right thing for the people watching. A town that drives past a church before dawn and thinks about doors left unlocked, about routines, about how quickly normal can turn. Podcasts, articles, message boards, billboards offering a reward that climbs $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $150,000. As if money could bribe truth out of hiding. As of now, no one has claimed it. The case is still open. The person in black is still a blank. The footage became a riddle. The horror became a debate. And the one thing that mattered, who walked toward me in that hallway and why, never surfaced. You want this to make sense. You want a motive you can file away. Jealousy, rage, obsession, greed. You want me to have seen it coming so you can tell yourself you would have too. You want the footage to glitch and reveal a face. You want a confession letter, a fingerprint, a slip-up, but what you get is something worse. A person can watch your life from the edges. Learn your schedule. Choose the hour you are alone. Dress in authority. Walk into a church. And leave without ever having to explain themselves. That is not a ghost story. That is a human one. There's no resolution in stories like this, just people trying to live with questions that shouldn't exist. Students who stopped coming to class because the morning felt different. A husband raising 3 daughters who will never get to ask why. A community that still looks twice at early morning lights in church windows. That's what's left when a case goes cold. Not silence, not peace, just the sound of life continuing around the space you used to fill. You want closure. You want the footage to speak, but it doesn't. Years later, the case is still unsolved. The reward still unclaimed. The person in black still unidentified. Because in the end, the only one who knows what happened in that hallway is the one who never had to explain it.